Hi, good afternoon to you, Vanto here. I am in Cape Town right now, and I am responding to the Lumi Nation. For those who do not know about the Lumi, we do have a development of a currency which is called the Lumi. Now, I'm responding to people at the moment as I speak within a group. It is 72 people that are in that group that have joined us in the Lumi. I want to respond to a few questions that are there. We have a project, a huge project that we are working on now, and this project is a discussion that is happening around the world. There are debates around the world about currency, and those debates are talking about the future of the dollar. Many countries right now, they know that the dollar, as a reserve currency for the world currency, it is fast coming to an end. And there are debates that are happening around the world now as to what next, because initially the currencies were all pegged on a gold, and after that they were pegged on a dollar. But right now it's a debate that is ongoing since the time of the 2008 financial mess, and also because of the printing that is happening, the endless printing of the dollar. It is a very clear thing that the days of the dollar are over. So this is a background that I need us as African people to understand about the occurrence of the Lumi and the reason why the Lumi is pegged against the gold, but mainly pegged against the solar. Now, that is the beauty of a system that we have right now, the wisdom that is so amazing. Let me tell you something. The solar, which is, the equator, the Greenwich Meridian, as well as the equator, they cross in Africa. That makes Africa, the landmass of Africa, the place that the sun hits more than any place in the world. Most of the time, the equator is moving around. If you look at your map, your world map, it is moving on the surface of the sea, and the only place where it hits the whole continent, it is our continent, the continent of Africa. Therefore, that is why our currency, the Lumi, it is pegged against that reserve, the reserve that will never come to an end, the solar system, the reserve that will not be colonized like all these other minerals that have been taken. Nobody can steal the amount of sun that we have in Africa. That is why the future is in the solar. The future is in the solar. That means that we can actually give a lot of electricity to the whole world as Africa. Now, that is why the Lumi is pegged against the solar. It is the future of most of the currencies. In the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, currencies will be going back to something to be pegged against that something, which will not be the dollar, because where the dollar is going now, people are ready to jump off. That is why today you see that other places are beginning to pay people in Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency, but ours is a digital currency which has got, a reserve bank. And that reserve bank is free from all the manipulation of other reserve banks, which are nothing but satellites of the reserve banks in London, Paris, as well as Lisbon. We won't get into that. But the main thing that I want to talk about today, we have 72 members right now as I speak that are in a group. Imagine those 72 members who are actually right now receiving $1,000 value, which is on Lumi. That makes 72,000 per month. 72,000 per month amongst 72 members. $72,000 per month. You can convert that in your own money. Now, if you were in that group, many people, they want to know, what next? What are we going to do? Now, let me give you what is going to happen. Right now, I invited a CA who is a friend of mine, and then this is what I said to him. I said, we have people in our group, I'm now talking just about this small group, who are waiting for your services. These people all have money, but they are ready to pay you in Lumi. Now, that is how you are supposed to think as a part of this group. Now, I'm saying to him, those people are ready to pay you, because in these times of the pandemic, the fiat currency is very scarce. I'm talking about the rand on our side. That's what the pandemic has done. But in this time when there is hunger, the Lumi is in abundance. The Lumi has come to be a stimulus of $100 to every African that is above 18. I want to give you the options, and I want you to think with me on this. Let us say in South Africa, we have the private schools. We have private schools right now, and they have an ownership. Those private schools, they are privately owned. But because of the pandemic, these schools, they do not have money that is paid back to them. What are we going to do? Now, let me tell you what we are going to do. We are going to tell those private school owners that they register to Lumi, so that all the parents in these private schools, they will also register to Lumi, and after that, they pay a school fees on Lumi. Imagine if a family has got about 5 people that are paid on Lumi, and then let's say maybe, Lumi, which is $100, let's say it's 1,500 rand in South African rands. That family has got about 7,500 rands that they can use, but it is in Lumi. What are they going to do? Maybe the school fees is 1,500, and that 1,500 is about 100 Lumi. Therefore, the owner of the school is going to be paid in Lumi. Then you ask me that this owner of the school, if he's going to be paid in Lumi, then what is he going to do with Lumi? Look, the fiat money that he has, he can pay his staff, the fiat money that he has. But for the operational expenses of the school, the supplies of the school, he will go, or she will go, to a supplier who is selling in Lumi. I am telling you right now, many people are beginning to apply for the Lumi. Therefore, the supplier of that private school will also be selling things in Lumi. Therefore, this private school owner who had 50% non-payment in the school now is able to receive that 50% through Lumi. The parents who are not affording to have money for food as well as the money for education, because of our stimulus, which is far bigger than the stimulus that any government in Africa can give right now, the parents are able to pay in Lumi. They pay the fees there in Lumi. Now, that's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens, we have, in our townships, a whole lot of, we call them spaza shops, which are closed right now because the shop owners cannot afford to buy the stock for the groceries for the people in the townships. What can these people do? Now, in that case, you have those spaza shop owners. They apply to Lumi, which means that they get the stimulus of $100 per month. And not only that, they will get a stimulus of $100 per month as individuals. They apply as business in Lumi. That means they can have $10,000 value in Lumi, which is loaned to them, and it is interest free. They can decide when they pay it between now and the third year. So it is interest free. Now, what do? They are now able to go and buy stock again. Where do they buy stock? They buy stock to the suppliers who are selling in Lumi. Where are those suppliers? They are right there in that group. They are in that group. I mean, Imagine if those 72 people in your group, it's 72,000 US dollar monthly that you are getting as a group. You can open an ecosystem that is going to meet everybody's needs inside that group. So they pay, and then they have something to eat. And after they have something to eat, the spaza shop owner can go and buy more stock. Now, this is teaching us as Africans to keep money within the community. That is what is helping right now. I know many people are concerned, even in the group that I'm busy answering to now. I know maybe when you listen to this, it will be, that group will not be 72 people. Maybe it will be at that time about 7,200 people. They are concerned about getting things in the fiat. But let me tell you something, those days are over. Today, people are buying a whole lot of things outside the fiat system. That is what is happening with the cryptocurrencies. But now we are in the digital currency time. We are in the fourth industrial revolution. The three other industrial revolutions, the first one was a revolution of physical things, which were steam. Steam was part of the first industrial revolution, remember? And the second industrial revolution was a revolution that brought electricity. The third industrial revolution was the one that brought, electronic stuff, the computers and all that. But now the fourth industrial revolution is the revolution that is bringing the Internet of Things, which means now here, things that are biological and things that are digital and things that are physical, they are all mixed into one thing, through, internet, through computer, Internet of Things. This industrial revolution is the only industrial revolution that is giving an African a fair chance. The other three industrial revolutions, they are the ones which all the things that were built through them, they were doing nothing but to give oppression, slavery, colonialism to us. So we have a reset for the whole world right now. So I just want to say to you, you want to think bigger and say to yourself that with the Lumi, let me go and recruit a shop owner. Let me go and recruit, the owner of the private school. Look at the needs around you right now. If you know that you are looking for food, go and recruit a shop owner that is next to you, because that shop owner will be giving you that food through Lumi. And as you are doing that, you make sure together with me that there is a supplier that is going to supply that shop owner through Lumi. They are already there. So I want you to think bigger about the whole ecosystem, what is going to happen as Lumi is growing throughout. The desire that we have through this currency is to create a culture. The culture that is showing a freedom, an economic freedom, as well as economic privileges. The kind of education we have is an education that has managed to show us the political privileges, but we are not able to see the economic privileges. I always say that when somebody comes to steal from you, when somebody comes to either make you a slave or colonize you, and after that, that person gives you education, do you really think that that person will give you the education that will make you to be able to recover that which he has stolen? No. That is why the education that we have is the education that is sufficient for us to see political privileges, but never economic privileges. So that is the education that they have given to us, which is going to make us to fight amongst one another and never go to the next level of improving our economy. I hope this is helping and also answering not only to this group of people in the Telegram here, but all the other groups that have got Lumi, that look at the needs around you. Whatever you need around you, if you need the services of a CA, make sure that there is a CA that has joined Lumi. If that CA wants to be paid, he's going to be paid in Lumi. Now, if that CA has got needs as well, There are people around here. We've got a lot of professionals, a graphic designer, whatever you needed, to do that work, whatever business that you want to do. Look, if you want to open business right now, what do? Because of this fourth industrial revolution, you want to start to have a website. So if you want to start to have a website, the first thing you say, who is taking Lumi and can do a website for me? You look for that person within the Lumi Nation. He will do a website for you. Then you have that service. Then the website, in that website you say, I am a CA, I'm doing this service, and already that person is helping you to reach out to your own business. And also the other one will do search engine optimization for you for that website to go viral or that video to go viral. And therefore the customers, they will come on, new customers that are also paying through Lumi. Look, this is a solution to all of us, and it keeps our money rotating around us. I hope this is going to help you. And when I say help you, I mean that we are not starting a small stokvel. This is not just a small organization. We are building nations in Africa. The people who join us, this is what I always say to them, and I'm going to repeat this again. I say to them that we are families that are put together and they are trained to transform communities and eventually nations in the continent towards an Africa economic freedom, whatever that you want to call it, or an Africa economic empowerment. We are busy being trained now to transform our communities as well as our nations towards an Africa economic empowerment. And this empowerment is going to happen by us being able to have intertrade amongst one another as Africans, as well as the nation states that are neighboring us, and even those that are far. And we are coming together using the currency of Lumi, which is an acceptable instrument in the sixth community. We have 5 communities in Africa. The sixth community, this instrument is accepted there. All these other communities, they have a chance to use their own currencies. But the sixth community did something that is very clever. They partnered with the African Kingdoms Federation, which is a group of kingdoms that are in Africa from all the 5 regions. They partnered with them because those kingdoms, they've got villages. In those villages, they've got farms and they want to start trading, and already right now they are trading. I hope this video is going to help you, to tell you today that Lumi is a stimulus that is not only helping you for a short term, but it is changing your entire outlook as an African, as well as your identity. Let me assure you, democracy will never ever restore your identity. It will never restore it. But when you have your own currency, like the Lumi, it will restore your dignity, it will restore your identity. You are not blacklisted in Lumi like you are in your fiat currency, whatever currency you are using in your country. Here, you are able to get a 10,000 loan instantly, 10,000 US dollar instantly, as long as you have a beautiful business plan, and also you are able to be given a chance to return it. So now we are not saying to you, just because there are those loans, people must jump into loans even if you have never been in business. There are also trainings within here that are helping us with nation building tools. Most of Africans that I know do not have the tools of building a nation. They don't know what it means to build a nation. Why am I saying that? Like in South Africa, for instance, it is an inherited country. Most of the countries I know in Africa, they have been inherited, which means that they are not start from scratch. I even respect right now, the country I have great respect from is Zimbabwe, because it has been stripped all it has to start from scratch, so as to start building from scratch. I'm not saying we all have to go there, But it is important for us to know that there are nation-building tools of building a country. So here, that is what we do. We teach everyone that how to build nations from scratch, which tools to use. And we are rebuilding the African nations that have been stripped of their economy. Thank you for listening in this. I hope it's going to help a whole lot of our members. And for those who have not joined the Lumi yet, for whatever reasons, I will understand, but give yourself time and listen to the presentations that we have on Mondays, which are of the African Kingdoms Federation, and on Wednesdays, which are of the government of the State of African Diaspora, as well as on the weekends, which are helping us how to start our businesses. Now, this activity is happening everywhere. Debates are everywhere about these things. The first one is currency. The second one is the return of the diaspora. There are many groups today that are beginning to work on the return of the diaspora. If you don't know, the diaspora is coming back to Africa. They are beginning to settle in Ghana. They are beginning to settle in Senegal. They are beginning to settle in Liberia, in Sierra Leone. If it has not started happening in your own place, I know that even in Uganda, all the diaspora, most of them are beginning to come back home. Let's use this time of the reset and use it for the best. It is happening in our lifetime. For me, at my age of 53, there are two important things that have happened in my life. The first one was when I was a presiding officer in the IEC in 1994 on the 27th of April. That was my happiest day because every vote I knew that it brings political freedom. But I've been looking for something that is bringing economic freedom. But now, every Lumi that comes in, everyone that registered for Lumi, I know that it is bringing economic freedom. So those are my greatest joys, that two things happened in my lifetime in Africa, especially in South Africa. I saw political freedom, a few years ago, and now I am beginning to see economic freedom, which we are doing together as communities and families. God bless you. I hope this is going to help you.